Well, as Europe struggles to reach some kind of consensus on the crisis, thousands continue to make the perilous journey every day. To learn more, I spoke to Demetrios Papademetriou. He's the president and co-founder of the Migration Policy Institute. We began with a growing debate about words to describe this ongoing crisis and the distinction between being a migrant and a refugee.
Well, they're both. These are mixed flows of people. They include refugees, probably around 30 to 35%, but with Syrians becoming a larger proportion of the total. That proportion probably will be in the 40s, 45%. Then there are probably about 35% what we call euphemistically economic migrants. You know, in the United States, we will probably call that illegal immigration. And there are about 25% in the middle who typically receive protection in Europe, but they're not what we call convention refugees, which is people who meet the international definition of classes of people who need to be protected by law.
So what is the distinction here for European countries dealing with this massive influx?
Well, different countries are dealing with the influx differently. The most generous country so far has been Germany, who has indicated its intention to continue to receive and try to adjudicate the claims of as many people as would come to Germany. Other countries, of course, that don't have these kinds of numbers, or for that matter, they don't have the ability. By that I mean the facilities, the ability to sort of hire enormous additional numbers of adjudicators, people who will adjudicate the claims, et cetera, or don't have the funds for it, don't have the infrastructure for this. I've just described Greece, first and foremost, but also Italy. These are places which the best thing that they can do at this time is create holding tanks, perhaps warehouses of people on their way to somewhere else.
As Europe tries to cope with this refugee crisis, the worst since World War II, people are still making the journey and people are dying by large numbers. So what is the most realistic solution here to prevent this tragedy?
Well, I don't think that in the next 3 to 6 months, Europe can do anything to prevent this tragedy. They can put more resources. That means more ships that would actually patrol the central Mediterranean, perhaps closer to the Libyan waters, perhaps with the permission of Libya, even a bit inside the Libyan waters, and try to rescue more people. In other words, in one sense, easiest thing to do is to try to rescue as many people as they possibly can. And they're doing, notwithstanding the problem in the last, 32 or whatever, 36 hours, they have been doing much better. We hadn't had a mass death situation for a couple of months now.
Actually, there was an episode off the coast of Libya, over 100 people believed to have died, 2 boats capsized, and we had another issue in Austria, some 70 people, the bodies of 70 people found in this truck. So people, sir, are still dying in large numbers.
They are, but compared to the numbers in the first 3 or 4 months of this year, where we lost over 2,000 people, these are smaller numbers, but we're not going to pick, we're not going to say that 10 deaths, somehow don't deserve the same attention as 100 deaths. So clearly, they can do better in terms of rescuing people.